So you got a denial letter. Well, something went wrong somewhere. Let's dive into what it could be. Welcome back to the channel. Hey, before we get started, please remember to like, share, subscribe, let the whole video run. This helps the algorithm on YouTube to get the word out. Promotes the video to more and more veterans so that they can be positively impacted by the messages that we keep bringing here day to day. So let's talk today about why veterans fail their CMP exams. Just flat out. I know I've covered this in past videos, but I'm telling you, this can't be over communicated enough. And there are some key things that happen when veterans are failing their CMP exams. You're not getting the rating you wanted, or you're getting completely denied. Not the end of the world. It's not a final deal. You go back, you do supplementals, you do appeals, you do what you got to do, right? But what are some of the common reasons that CMP exams are failed by veterans? We're going to jump into number one. Number one, lack of comprehensive medical documentation. In simple terms, you didn't bring enough medical evidence. Medical evidence being doctor's reports, medical records, your in-service medical records, how they connect, the whole 9 yards. Listen, if you go into a CMP exam and you're claiming lower back pain, but you've not been to a doctor for lower back pain or a chiropractor or physical therapist for lower back pain in 10 years, then you, my friend, are wasting your time. I'm just going to be straight with you. You're just wasting your time. You need to be gathering up all the medical documentation, and you need to be bringing it into that claim, because that is going to do nothing but strengthen your claim right there. This leads directly into number two, because I just mentioned it a minute ago. The second thing that veterans do is they have inconsistent self-reporting. I've done this myself. We are not going to the doctor and saying, hey, I know we talked about this, a month ago or 2 months ago or 3 weeks ago or 5 days ago or a year ago, right? I know we talked about this before, but man, my GERD is out of control. My headaches are out of control. My, my lower back pain, out of control. I can't sit for more than 15 minutes. I have to stand up. When I stand up, it hurts. When I stretch, it hurts. When I turn sideways, I can turn my head this far, but not any further. I can turn just fine the other direction, but I have to move my back with me. We are not being clear enough in our self-reporting. And that I have found, just based on conversations with other veterans, that's the number one thing that veterans fail to do, is we're not being completely transparent with our medical folks, our physicians, our doctors, whatever. And we forget, hey, I've mentioned headaches once. Great. That doesn't mean you consistently have headaches. That means you mentioned them once. Hey, I have lower back pain. Hey, I went to the doctor once in the military. And I went to sick call and said, hey, I've got lower back pain because I've been, working on the flight deck, and, I've been moving around equipment, etc. Okay, great. You went one time. If you go 2 times or 3 times while you're in the service, or you go consistently out after you get out of the service, and it's within a year of your claim timeline, then you have something to go on. But there are a lot of instances, listen, headaches in the service. Let's just be honest. Self-reporting, inconsistent self-reporting, you want to talk about that? That is, when we're in the military and we have a headache, who goes to sick call? Nobody. None of us go to sick call, because we know the answer. Here, pop 2 of these and come back, in 5 weeks when you have another one. Or they say, pop 2 of these and then go buy you a bottle of aspirin, buy you a bottle of Aleve, right? That's what they do. And that's what veterans do, is we go, oh, well, it's just a headache. It's just this week's headache. It's just this month's headache. It's just this week's GERD. It's just this and that. We're going to take over the counter. We inconsistently self-report to the medical documentation that needs to be out there. So let's get it together, veterans. Let's start doing that. Start being transparent. All right, next, poor communication. When we go into CMP exams and the doctor says, "How are you today?" And you go, "Great, I'm doing awesome." But you're claiming depression. I'll let you figure that one out. I think we covered that in the last video, but I'll let you figure that one out. That's not hard to figure out. Of course, perception is going to be, well, this guy's fine, right? Smiling, laughing, cracking jokes, the whole 9 yards. No sadness, no bad parts, no nothing. I didn't have depression. I didn't see any of that. You may have depression, but if they don't see it and they don't hear about how it affects your life, then that's on us. We have to do that. We have to be our own advocates, quite honestly. Next, unrealistic expectations. Listen, if you have depression, but it does not affect your day-to-day life, you don't have to take time off work. You don't miss time with your family. You don't end up, throwing a temper tantrum or having anxiety attacks or anything like that. Man, don't expect 100% rating. Just be honest with how much you're going to get, right? Be honest with the rating that you're going to get. Listen, if you've got enough things going on to where you think you hit 100%, I am fully advocating for you. Go after that 100%. As a matter of fact, if you think that you could potentially get close to 100%, target that 100%, but don't have unrealistic expectations that you're absolutely going to get there and it's going to be done in 6 months. That just doesn't ever work out for veterans very well. So set your expectations with reality. Go back, get to the 38 CFR Part 4, look at the DBQs, go read some BVA decisions, and then try and figure out, hey, where do I really fit in this, right? What am I realistically looking at? And then target that or target one above it and see what you come out with. All right. Next. Veterans do a real good job of ignoring the functional impact of their symptoms. Again, headaches. Great, you have headaches 5 times a year, or you have headaches 5 times a month. Wonderful. What does it do? Well, I go and I take meds. Okay, that's not going to get you much. It's not going to get you probably anything, quite honestly. Walking in and saying, hey, when I get my headaches, I have to go lay down for an hour or 2 or 3 or 90 minutes or 30 minutes in a dark room that's quiet. I have to put headphones on to keep the noise out. I can't open my eyes because it hurts. Those are the details you need to get into. So those functional impacts is what's going to drive a higher rating for you. How is it functionally impacting your life? Keep that in mind. Lastly, and we covered this already last week, lack of understanding of the rating criteria. Go back and do your homework. Go back and do your homework. Look through the 38 CFR Part 4. Go and see what the rating criteria is for each level of whatever you're claiming. Go back and look at the Board of Veterans Appeals and say, hey, what's winning and what's not winning. And then go look at the DBQ so that you're prepared for your CMP exam. All right, so we've talked today about a few things that veterans tend to do that makes them fail their CMP exams. Listen, don't give up. Keep fighting. Go educate yourself. Learn more and more. If you need to, get a quality VSO to help you. If the VSO isn't working, get a different VSO to help you. And then after that, if all else fails and you feel like you've got a case and you have no doubt that you're just not being helped the right way, maybe then you look into a paid service such as an attorney, but try and do it all yourself first because you don't want to give up that cash. All right, thanks. Talk to you next week.